So today's video is a response to some of the questions I got off Insta story about, I posted a video about my son whining about, not being able to get something done. And I was talking to him about how to handle it, how to deal with it so that it doesn't overwhelm him and all of that. And since then, I've got quite a number of parents reach out to me and say, oh, so Toyosi, how do I deal with when my child, has failed? How do I help them to, handle it better? So I thought it would be nice to actually make a video so that every one of us can actually learn from it and get better. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Toyosi Gregory-Jonah. If it's your first time here, hey, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you have subscribed. If you haven't, please do so now and turn on the notification button so that whenever I put up a new video, you'll be one of the first people to be notified. If you're not following me on social media, come on, let's be friends on social media so that we can connect, better than this. Tip number one, as a parent, you have to have a growth mindset. So have a discussion with your child about what went wrong, and then together, both of you can actually plan, you can actually create an action plan to get him from where he is right now, where he's feeling inadequate and not, feeling not himself, to the point where he feels better because he has you to support him. So it's important that you also, imbibe the culture of having a growth mindset and ensuring that you're intentional about what you put in your mind and what you act out on a day-to-day basis. Tip number two, teach your child that failure is an inevitable part of life, and that because they have failed doesn't mean that they will forever remain there. What is important is that when they fail, they pick the pieces together and then they get back up and move on. Because the truth is that because the child has fallen doesn't mean that he's going to remain there. The child needs to be pulled back up. So you need to help them understand that failure is a part of life, is a part of growth. And as you fail, you come back a better person. You come back with knowledge. You come back with experience. So failure isn't something that they have to dwell on the negatives of it. There's also a positive side of it about experience, about knowing something better, knowing a better way, knowing ways to not do something because of the kind of result that would actually be achieved. Tip number three, be a good example. Our children, they watch us like a hawk. They literally do every single thing that we do. When you yourself have disappointment, it's important for you to deal with it with grace, in remembrance that you've got children around you watching you, and children who are literally going to do exactly what you do. So if you have issues with people, or maybe you feel that something, or you had like a disappointment or something, instead of breaking down and just sending negative vibe around the house, or just being snappy and all of that, you also handle it. In fact, you can actually discuss it with your children and say, oh, I went through this and this is how I'm feeling right now, but I know I will feel better. That way they have the feeling that, okay, failure happens. Once you understand why you have failed, you can actually pick up your pieces from that point and build back up to success. Tip number four, be empathic and praise them. Honestly, when children have meltdown about things that they are going through and all of that, instead of being judgmental and making them feel like they're inadequate, they're not enough, as a parent you should actually praise them and encourage them. So recently Adam had a situation, that was what I said someone saw on Instagram. Adam had a situation where he was feeling like he didn't do enough at his football academy, and then he came home to tell me, oh mommy, I didn't do well, I feel really bad. And I said to him, Adam, you did the best that you could do at the time. Now, the reason why you're going to the academy is actually for you to be better, so that you can be a better football player. So do not beat yourself up about the fact that you didn't do well on a certain day. And he felt really encouraged, and he came and he hugged me and he said, thank you, mommy, for the encouragement. You have to be there to encourage them because, it's already difficult. Sometimes they don't even know how to put a name to this emotion. They don't even know how to express these emotions. So, when they feel like you're going to be judgmental, you're not going to be considerate, you're not going to be understanding, you're not creating a safe space for them to have conversations with you around, failure or some of the letdown that they may have, even for later in life. It's important that you are intentional about encouraging them so that they don't feel like you're not their friend, so that they don't feel like, you are not their safe spot, you're not their safe person to talk to. Tip number five, and the final one, understand that failure is an option, honestly, we're all going to experience failure, and it's important that, as a parent, we don't get too empathic to the point that we start to shield our children from experiences that may expose them to failure, because we're trying to protect them, because we don't want them to feel hurt or anything like that. Sometimes, like I mentioned before, failure is something that is inevitable. Sometimes, failure has a way of teaching you resilience. Failure has a way of teaching you doggedness. It has a way of teaching you, you know what, I've fallen this time, I'm going to try to do this again. But as parents, especially mothers, there's this thing about us that we start to worry that, oh, I don't want my child to fail, I don't want my child to do this. Then we now start to protect them, we start to prevent them from trying things out. No, don't get to that point where you are preventing your child from, being adventurous, trying things out, going after the things that their heart wants, just because you're worried about the fact that they may fail. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've been able to learn something from this video, and you're going to, implement this in your own relationship with your children, and understand that, investing in our children, helping them to get over this ordeal of life, is a lifelong investment. It's something that we're going to do for a very long time. And it's important that as we go along this journey, we're constantly developing ourselves, we're constantly learning new stuff, from each other every other day. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, so that you know whenever it is that I drop a new video. Also, if you're not following me on social media, please follow me on Instagram and at Twitter at Gregory-Jonah, and I'll definitely give a follow back. Until next time, and to the success of your children, bye guys.